Hello, everybody. Welcome.
Hi.
We are so glad that you guys are here. We apologize for being a little late. We had a little tech issue, but that doesn't slow us down here. How are you, Hillary?
I'm good. How are you? We are here. It is April, and we are so grateful that you have joined us for season 3. Laura, what episode is this already? I can't believe we are almost halfway through season 3.
I know, it's already episode 4 in April. It's crazy. It seems like it's flying by.
And before we begin, we're going to do one of our favorite daily wellness practices of placing a drop each of frankincense and copaiba under our tongue. For cellular support and for calm, we hope you will join along with us.
Hey, ladies. It's so good to see you guys hopping on.
Hi, everyone. Hello, hello. We have great questions to answer tonight.
Oh my gosh. It's so exciting. There's so many awesome questions. So we just need to dive in.
Yeah.
There's so many amazing questions.
We're going to do it.
We got so many from Instagram. Hillary, do you want to kick us off with the first one?
Definitely. So the first question we got is, any advice on how to follow up with sampling? When I give samples out with instructions on how to use, of course, I'm always wondering how long is best to follow up with them. And then when following up, the best words to use when it comes to encouraging them to join. So one of the things that I stopped doing was giving out samples. And when I stopped giving out samples, my business grew a lot. My business took off. And so if you are going to do sampling, what I would recommend is what's called smart sampling. So if someone is reaching out to you saying they have head tension, or if someone's posting on Facebook or Instagram that their child is throwing up, or they've got a high temperature or something like that, a smart sample is a sample that's going to address the acute situation right then. So if they have head tension, neck tension, you can sample them with a deep blue rub packet and something like that. If their child is having a high temperature, you can give them a roller of peppermint or spearmint or whatever is going to resonate with you. And so I stopped giving samples to people for just no reason. If someone says, oh, well, I just want to try essential oils before I start. We don't buy people's groceries. We don't buy their remedies either. So if someone, in your network, in your neighborhood, or a friend is not feeling well, they go to Walgreens and they buy the things that they need. And rightfully so, we don't go to Walgreens for them and get the things that they need. That is, this is how you manage your own family's wellness. Whichever tools that you choose to use, this is your responsibility to maintain and obtain those. So with that spirit, I like to save samples like the deep blue rub samples and the drops and things like that for my welcome packets that I give to new members so that they can sample some of the products other than oils. So like the toothpaste and PB Assist Junior and those little things there. But when it comes to sampling, I do not give samples. And it's been so interesting because I'll get on the phone with someone, I'll get on a Zoom call with someone that wants to chat about oils, and they'll say, I want a sample of this or that. We'll get on a call and I'll ask them, what is going on in their health, and I'll ask them to fill out or to just, kind of rate their wellness with all these different areas that we do. And I walk them through the value of having a starter kit and the value of those oils, and that doTERRA has a 30-day money-back guarantee. And if you don't like anything that you purchase, you can send it back for a full refund. But when you don't value yourself, others won't value you either, nor will they value the things that you're sharing with them. So I know that this may deviate from your question a little bit, but I would encourage you to take it inward a little and ask yourself, how much personal development are you doing on a daily basis? How much time are you spending in a growth mindset? Because for me, it has worked well. If I'm going to do a smart sample, I'll let the person know I'm going to follow up with you in 3 days. So give me feedback, let me know how it's going in 3 days. But I don't let it go beyond that. And to encourage someone to sign up, I don't really want to encourage someone to sign up. I want to encourage them to do what resonates with them, because this cannot be on our timeline. They have to be ready for oils when they're ready to truly commit to them. So, in a nutshell, I would say try to really eliminate the sampling unless it's a super, super dialed in smart sample, and see your business grow. Because when you value the oils and you value having your own membership and having access to that, other people will do the same. And when I get on these calls with people that just, I just want to try something first, great. You can try it and purchase it. And if you don't like it, you can return it. It's like when you go to the grocery store, if you want to try a new fruit or vegetable or a new soup or a new thing, or you go to Target and you try something and you don't like it, you can return it. But you don't go to the checkout counter at Target and say, well, I just want to try this. I'm going to give it to you in like 2 months. I'll give it back to you. That we just don't do that. So it's retraining your mindset. So Laura, what do you think?
I love what you said. I agree. In the beginning, I sampled a lot and I didn't see much happen with doing that. I tend to not sample, or my sample is from talking to people. They're like, hey, I have head tension. Here's some peppermint. Here's how to do it. Just put it right on there. Put the oils on people directly in that moment with them and give them an oil experience if you can. When people reach out to me on social media asking for samples, I tell them, actually, I don't do that anymore because I've just been burned so many times on that, where I would send samples to people on social media and then they would block me, or weird stuff would happen with that. So I think you have to trust your intuition on that. And again, most of the stuff that we purchase from the store, our shampoo, our deodorant, we don't get samples of that. We try it. If it doesn't work, we take it back. And doTERRA does have a wonderful return policy. I feel like the oils speak for themselves in that. What's interesting with sampling, I think if you do it, there's certain ways that we can talk and we can have interactions with those people to make it more effective. Definitely when you give it out, give them written instructions. There's a little tear pad, little draw sheet from Share Oils that almost like a little prescription, if you will. It's kind of cute. It's like, this is for you. This is what you're going to do with it. Exactly. All of the stuff there. And then you have that intention of letting them know that I'm going to follow up with you, and you ask permission questions, which is really powerful. So saying, hey, would it be okay if I followed up with you on such and such date, right? Commit to that day and time to see how this is working for you and that we can connect in. And I actually put that on the calendar and schedule that with them so that they know, hey, you're going to be expected to follow up with me. If that's a call or a text or whatever, you kind of set that up with them. And it takes the ickiness out of it, right? And I think people want to know the next step. What is the next step? Because if you give them a sample and, they put it in their throw it in their car, throw it in a drawer, and they find it 6 months later. Like, that wasn't very great. So we want to be going to the next step and saying, okay, would it be okay if I followed up with you on this date to see how this is, check in with them? Guys, there was somebody recently that I sampled, and it was a good learning experience, right? But I made a little bitty dram. And again, little, like 5 to 8 drops of an oil in a little dram, or the teeny tiny little rollers. Do not be making full-size rollers for people, guys. Just please don't do it. For the love of all that is good in the world, do not give away giant rollers of oil. That's devaluing your product with all of those things. So little bitty, Share Oils has the little bitty cute ones, right? And it was lavender, and I pre-diluted it with fractionated coconut oil to make it really simple. And I wrote on the thing, roll on the bottoms of your feet, and it was a roller, right? So you roll. I followed up, and she said, yeah, well, my husband took that internally. I was like, oh gosh, no. I had written it, and there was a roller, so you had to be really, really after it to open it up, right? And do all the things. So all of that to say, the more information that we can do, and it was a learning experience for me, the more that we can follow up, the more that we can check in with people, and people need to hear it maybe a few times with that, the better. What's interesting when talking about doing a class, sometimes if you sample before a class, and I will say this, if you feel really confident teaching classes, like if that's what you're doing, sampling before a class, and you got it, you feel confident, and that's going to show through, I don't think you need to sample people as much. They're going to feel that confidence coming off at you. If you're brand new and you're feeling a little, and you're starting out, and please know we all start there, Hillary and I all start there at the very beginning, and we're learning as we go along. Sometimes I feel like in that instance, sampling somebody could be helpful to give them an experience before going on to a class if you're doing a live person class. And that would be getting really specific, seeing what their need is, again, having very clear instructions written out, following up with them, all of those things. Again, it's not something that I do a ton of in my business anymore. And I tend to I teach more. Hillary and I do more teaching virtually. I'm doing more in-person classes now lately, but I feel like the best, honestly, I feel like the best is just put it right on them because you're supervising them. You can talk it through with them. You can give that experience and do that way. So hopefully that gives you some advice of just ask permission and make sure that they know, okay, I'm going to follow up with you. I'm going to follow up on this day. So that could be very helpful. And then ask them how it goes. And if it didn't work for them, let them know, start asking questions. Well, how did you use it? Because if I made something for you for topical use and you took it internally, but thankfully, our lavender is very safe, all of the things, but start asking questions with that. But I have a rule of no more than 2 samples per person. So, if it is something for sleep and lavender didn't work, we know that we can go to cedarwood or serenity or something like that. Trust your intuition on that. But 2 per person, that is like my cutoff. So have healthy boundaries with that too around that. But yeah, the sampling, it's complicated. It's a complicated question. And I think you have to trust your intuition on that with sampling people too. All right, next question. If someone wanted to do the business but has no desire to make money off of it, can it be donated? Yes, it can. So this is your money. You get to choose what you want to do with it. And if you don't want to be making money off of it, then yes, you can donate it. Now, here's the interesting thing there. If somebody wanted to do the business but has no desire to make money, and I'm just breaking down this question a little bit, then you're not doing the business. Then you're not running a business because that is part of what we do. So in that case, it would be more of a hobby or, a part like pastime thing there. It's not really doing the business. And I love that doTERRA has the Free to Give program. I love that doTERRA's whole purpose is to help as many people get out of debt as possible in this instance. And so looking like, there was a quote, I don't remember who it was from, but it said something like the hungry person can't feed the starving. Like you really do have to take care of yourself. You have to fill your cup first and then you can give. Otherwise, you're going to give and give and give until you're depleted and there's nothing left there. So this question, when questions like this start to come in, it makes me think of what are our limiting beliefs around money? And that goes back to what were we taught about money as a child growing up? How did your parents talk about money? How did your parents talk to you about money? Was it money doesn't grow on trees or you have to work really, really hard to get money? These are the deeper things. And this is why, like Hillary mentioned, the personal development is so key in this business. And again, I love to partner with doTERRA. We love the co-impact sourcing, the healing hands, the partnering with Operation Underground Railroad and Days for Girls and all of these things. So we know that we're helping and supporting people in a lot of ways. But some of you guys might not know that when you reach diamond level in doTERRA, diamond rank, you can actually partner with doTERRA's Healing Hands Foundation and create nonprofits and create organizations. And so I think what a beautiful way to give back at a bigger level when you truly are free of debt. You paid off your home, your car, all of these things. What does that look like? And coming back to that. So it's an interesting question. Again, many people may even have spiritual or religious beliefs around money, feeling like money, if you have money, you're a bad person or whatever that is. So there's a lot of books around that. Money is just energy. It's an energetic exchange of what's going on there for services, for whatever it is. And so I think it's really important that if people have money blocks or limiting beliefs around that, they address them very quickly because your net worth will only grow to the level of your self-worth, which is really important. So those are kind of my thoughts on that. Hillary, what about you?
Yeah, I completely agree with all of that. And, we want to look at this as an opportunity that when we are free of debt, we can give so much more freely. And so what that means is having all of your bills, owning your home outright, having no credit card bills, no student loan bills, no medical bills, having, I would say, 2 years of emergency funds, which is 2 years of your living expenses if you're going to be giving all of your earnings to another source. And if that were the case, by that time, maybe the things that you would want to spend your time on would be different. And so, if someone is attracted to doing the doTERRA business, I would encourage you to do some more personal development with your money blocks and read the book, You're a Badass at Making Money by Jen Sincero. That's a really good one because she explains that there's this dark side that people sometimes have about, oh, if you're rich, then this means this, or if you have money, that means you don't care about other people or that you're selfish. But truly, the more money you have, the more money you can give. So like what Laura was saying, that if you're hungry, how can you feed other people that are hungry? You can't. You need to feed yourself first, and then you can give others what you have. So, and you should have no shame associated with making money and earning money and having the capacity to earn money, because like Laura's saying, that's an energetic exchange. And when you have more energy to give, then it allows you so many more opportunities for your family. And also if you have children, that means having their full college education paid for, plus a year or two in emergency savings and all of these other things that you would want to have for protection to make sure that you could take care of your family before you start giving money to everybody else. So it's the doTERRA culture, because the doTERRA company attracts givers, attracts people that are caring. We want to give everybody oil because we want everybody to see the oil that we love so much and feel the way about doTERRA that we do. And we also want to give people resources. But the truth of the matter is we need to make sure that our own home is safe and buttoned up first before we go outward. So our next question is, do you have any tips for successfully doing vendor events? I have my first one on Saturday. Yes. So last Monday, I did a vendor event at I guess this wouldn't really be a vendor event because it was a workshop. But there's some things that definitely apply there similarly. So with a vendor event, people do not go to vendor events to talk to you for 45 minutes or for you to talk to them for 45 minutes. Most of the time, you want to think about it in your own terms. When you go to a vendor event, what are you there to do? Learn a little bit, grab some samples, try some things, maybe get some information, get inspired, and maybe have some things to look up on the internet the next day, or maybe some new social media channels to check out and new local vendors to explore. You're not going there for someone to corner you and tell you all about their products for 45 minutes. So the way that I view vendor events is the goal, and you always want to set an intention before you do anything, a class, a workshop, a vendor event. The goal of your event should be, well, in my opinion, to connect with others. So God gave us 2 ears and 1 mouth for a reason. So at a vendor event, we want to draw people in and listen to them and create a safe environment for them to open up about their health challenges. And when we do that, we create trust. And when we create trust, we create an emotional exchange where someone sees that we genuinely care about them and we have solutions to support them. And so by using our mouth less and our ears more, we're opening that opportunity to connect and listen to them and what they need. This isn't about us giving them a 45-minute dissertation on doTERRA and why they need doTERRA. That shouldn't be the conversation at all. So what I would recommend doing is having wild orange and peppermint and being at the front of the booth and offering an oil experience. Come on into the booth. Would you like to try essential oils? Would you like to enter into our giveaway? So you're inviting them in, you're asking for permission to put wild orange and peppermint on their hands, and you walk them through how to do some deep palm inhales. They've got this oil experience already happening as you're talking to them. And then you can have an intake form where you have just some simple information, their name, their email address, their social media handle, and ask them to rate their wellness on a scale of 1 to 10 in all those main areas. And then when they complete that, they get entered to win a raffle. So now you have their contact information. Now you have data to work with, that you know exactly what things they want to focus on in their health. And then just asking them, what are some of the things that you reach for pharmaceuticals for? How do you feel? How's your sleep? How's your mood? How's your digestion? And let them talk and let them do the talking. And then when they're ready to go, they'll let you know. And you have their information and you can let them know you'll follow up with them tomorrow. You always want to follow up with them the next day. If it's a Saturday, maybe follow up on Monday and hold space in your schedule for that. And then invite them to check out some things you have in your booth. And I like to keep it simple, the top 10 oils, a diffuser with a nice calming blend or an uplifting blend, and the 6 aroma touch, not the aroma touch, the 6 emotional aromatherapy touch rollers so that they can try those, and then a few other little things, but don't overwhelm them with things. Don't bombard them with information. Make the focus of your vendor event for them to connect and share with you. The goal is not to enroll people on site because they're not ready for that. That's not really the environment where you can have quiet and you can have one-on-one really true focus with them. So at a high level, invite them in, let them experience the oils, have their contact information, have some data about their health. You can refer back to that when we talked at the event on Saturday. You mentioned sleep, nutrition, and digestion were 3 main areas. Let's unpack that a little more. Can you please tell me a little more about that? Let's set up a phone call so I can hear a little bit more about you and what's going on with you, not so I can diarrhea of the mouth and get you to buy something. So that's the mindset shift that we have to have when we are going into a class or a workshop or an event. Laura, what are your thoughts?
Yeah, I love it. I do things very similar to what you said. A few differences, but lots of similarities there. So I have wild orange and peppermint. And I ask people, hey, do you need some energy and focus? Or would you want some relaxation? And it's like wild orange and peppermint if you need some energy. I'm going to give you some lavender, maybe some frankincense with that if you need that relaxation. And it's so great because it's like, okay, you show them. I'm like, okay, hold out your hands. Are you excited? Okay, we're going to put a drop. We're going to do all the things. We give them that experience. And then I used to do drawings. And maybe it's something that I can explore again. When I did drawings, yes, you get their contact information because everybody wants to win something. But what my experience was with that was that when I started following up with those people, maybe they weren't really serious about the oils. They just kind of wanted free stuff with that. So I've changed it a little bit in that I have little samples of things. So maybe like lemon oil or a little sample of wild orange oil. And I ask something of them in order to give them a sample. Like everybody, I'm popping oils on their hands. They're having that experience. But I ask them I'm like, are you on Facebook? Yeah. Well, if you request to join my Learning with Dr. Laura Facebook group, you will get a little sample of something. So they have to do an action. They have to pull out their phone. I have to see it right then and there. They're not on Facebook. You follow me on Instagram or you subscribe to my YouTube channel. I want to plug them into some type of educational vortex that they're going to see me popping in, that they're going to start to have that experience that they can learn if they're open to. So it's like, okay, you do this and you get the sample in your hand with that. Because like Hillary said, this is just the first exposure. We're just making a connection with somebody for the first time. So if I can plug them into some of my educational resources, maybe they might be intrigued to learn a little bit more about that in that moment. And then what I do is I have a sheet for wellness consults. So very similar to what Hillary said, but I've found it's really cool when I offer that. That's like a perk. So for me, with my virtual health coaching practice, like to hop on the phone for about 20 minutes, I'm like, this is like a $60 value here. And I'm offering this since you're part of this event for free. If you would like to set up a time and we can hop on the phone and we can do a wellness consult, we can go over your specific goals and answer questions. Let's do that. So I asked them, and what I found is I had a much higher rate when they wanted to. It was their idea and they were like, okay. And they freely just gave of that, not necessarily to get free stuff, but to, I guess, hopping on the phone and having a free welcome or wellness consult is kind of, but to make that connection. So then I have the people that are really kind of into it. Then I text them, like Hillary said, if I can do it the same day, I try to just to make that connection with them, or the following day, and just remind them, hey, it's Dr. Laura. I was at this event. I met you. You mentioned that you were open to doing a wellness consult with me. I've got this day at this time, or this day at this time. Which one works for you? Like, don't overwhelm them. Don't ask them what time works for them. That's just going to freak them out, because they'll let you know, oh, those don't work. And then I can throw out some other days and times. And then I just schedule that. And I've had a much higher rate of actually getting people on a phone call to do a wellness consult with them and to actually get them started with the oils. So everybody has a different technique, and I think you have to jive with what feels best and what works for you. And that's been my experience of doing them. It's been almost 3 years now, but I think, again, you have to go into it with this heart of service and meeting people and being open and having connection. If you do a vendor event with this idea of, oh, everybody's going to purchase, everybody's going to get started with oils and get a starter kit, I don't think that that's necessarily going to work, but doing what we can to just keep it fun, and having some resource books on the table. And I'll usually take some On Guard drops and Breathe drops and Slim and Sassy gum and cut them into little things. Because again, most people I think are coming through, they just want to grab some free stuff and go, but have your cards out there, have something, a place that you can plug them into to get that education, or like the drawings, something that you can kind of connect with those people that are open and get their contact information is a pretty powerful thing. They're a lot of fun if you just kind of go in and with this idea of meeting people.
Definitely. And what I also love to do for me, because I've taken the aroma touch training, I like to make that drawing an aroma touch treatment, because that's something really calming and relaxing. And before they come for the treatment, or when they arrive, I can walk them through the oils I'm going to use and why. And then after they've had another experience, you know, they're seeing how the oils feel, they're feeling how the oils feel, and it's that connection, that opportunity to connect with people and help them have some self-care. So doing things like taking an aroma touch training can be a huge investment that you are able to then pour out so much into your community. You can volunteer and share aroma touch with people, you know, wherever, and getting oils on people. But it's a really great opportunity for you to be connecting with people. When you are at these vendor events, offering something like that is going to be a little more meaningful than, you know, maybe a free bottle of oil, which they might not know what to do with it, or, you know, whatever it is. So when I think about incentives that I would want, for me, that's self-care. So I want to project that onto other people, that I know the value of taking a little bit of a time for me to relax. I love giving that gift to people. And so it's just another way of you being able to leverage all the skills and all the knowledge you have to help serve the people that you're connecting with.
I love that. I think it's awesome. The aroma touch is such a powerful technique. And I have had some wonderful ladies on my team that have had great success with that, with adding it in. It's really amazing. So if you're not already aroma touch certified, please do. We popped a link in there, so go and find it. Or if you are, maybe have events at your home, encourage your team, these community events and things to help other people get certified and share. And it's a huge gift. If you haven't experienced it, you got to experience it. It's really powerful. All right, next question. How do y'all use the doPLANNER? Oh, this is the doPLANNER. If you haven't seen it before, we love it. I have been using these for, actually, since I started my doTERRA business. So I'm on number 4. These are pretty incredible, and for a lot of reasons. So there's so many. One, she really put a lot of time and thought into this. Is it Jennifer?
Yeah.
So Jennifer's pretty incredible with this. She's got a page to do a vision board. She has tools in here to helping you to discover your why, helping you to write a letter to your future self, which is actually really fun to go back and read and experience with this. What I love is she does have a page about your strengths, and then there is a contact tracker. So when you're doing, I actually just kind of keep mine as a note in Evernote of the people that I'm following up with, because I like it digital and it syncs with all of my things, my iPad, my MacBook, all of that. But there is a place there, and there is a enrollment tracker on here, which is very helpful. So I love that as well. And then I go through and I use it to plan out all my classes. So you can see it month by month. And again, it's brilliant in that she has it set up to where you enter in for the month. Let me pull up a page here. So you can see she's got a cute little recipe that is there that you can share with your people. And then business focus, personal focus, monthly checklist. And then I will write out all of the main things that are going on, all of the classes that I'm teaching. Before the month even starts, I am planning and writing in all of the classes and events and everything that we're doing. And then it even has product of the month, promo of the month, the 10% off product, and then a monthly summary. So what was your goal rank? Did you make that rank? Your personal volume, your organizational volume, your income, expenses, and mileage. So it's very simple. And I think you can just go to doPLANNER.com, Kristen.
Mm-hmm.
We'll pop a link in here for you, or just Google doPLANNER and it'll take you right there. But it's very handy. So you can get a month by month, but also day by day. So she even has self-development follow-ups each day, which is really important. And then it goes through, blocks everything, and she has self-care tracking. So did you have your water? Did you take your Lifelong Vitality Pack? Have you moved today? Did you do something for yourself? Which is really great. And then I love that she has a summary at the end of the month, a monthly review of questions that you can ask yourself. Things like, hey, what was my main goal? Did I make that goal? What am I most grateful for this past month? Like, what did I learn? And it's really nice to sit down and analyze and go back and see what's working, what's not. And so that's set up right there that I can think, and it can help me strategize and plan for the next following month with all of those things. So she really did a fantastic job. And then there's a place in the very back, there's a checklist that you can track your rank, your personal volume, organizational volume, income, expenses, all of that. And it's really cool to look back on the whole year. You can see a summary of the entire year and see, like, you know what, doing those consistent daily actions, wow, like, look how much I've grown. Look at what's happening here. Know your numbers in your business. That's really important because you can't set goals or see that if you're not looking at those things. And then she has a year in review of, like, what was your most memorable moment of 2019? Like, what new habits happened? Like, how did it all work? It's really, really fun. And save them, guys. I'm sad. The very first one that I had, I threw away because I was like minimalist and was like, oh, I don't think I'll need this. And I wish I would have saved it. Save all of them because they're really fun to go back. It's really fun to go back and read the letter that you wrote to yourself, setting that intention for the whole year, having that all in motion. It's such a cool tool, and I use it a lot. And what I do personally, as a side note, I write in all of my classes, big things coming up, but I also like to track daily when I reach different ranks. So, when I've reached elite, I'll write that in for the month. When I reach premier, silver, gold, platinum, when that's happening, so I can see that. And also I write in my enrollments in the calendar so that I can go back and I can quickly look and get a visual of, okay, I had this many enrollments this month. And I even do that for my Power of 3 because Hillary and I, we both, we are solid at getting our 1500 Power of 3. So I like to track that as well and go, okay, on the 2nd of the month, I reached my 50 Power of 3. On this day of the month, I reached my 250. On this day, I reached my 1500. So that way you know when things are happening in your business and you can look back. And so save all of them because I'll pull them and go, what were my enrollments in April last year? Like, what did this look like? And it's a really great tool to track your progress, to see what's happening. It's my favorite. I feel like it's really well laid out. What about you, Hillary?
Yeah, I love all that. The only thing I was going to add to it is that I like that she has it broken down by hour, so or by half hour, so that you can time block your day. Like, if you've never started time blocking your day, I would encourage you to try that. But also at the same time, remain flexible too. Keep in mind that you want to hold space for creativity and for flexibility in your day, that you don't want to have every minute accounted for. And then if something super exciting happens, like a friend that you haven't seen in 2 years is in the neighborhood and wants to have tea with you, and you're like, no, sorry, I have to stick to the schedule. You want to try to be flexible as much as you can. But I like that she has it broken down by 30 minutes. So you can put, your 30-minute workout. Like for me, on Sundays, I like to go in and set up my doPLANNER for the following week. So I'll put in my 30-minute workout every morning at 7:15 once Olivia's, on the bus or whatever's going on that day. And I can schedule in those things that are important to me. I can say, this is the time we have our podcast. This is the time I have my Periscope. This is the time I have a dentist appointment or whatever it is. And then I can fill in the rest. Like, I know I have this meeting at 9 a.m. on Thursday. I know I have this thing I need to do. And then it's going to take me 30 minutes to do this task. So I'll put that in from, 8 to 8:30 or 9 to 9:30, whatever it is. So try time blocking if you've never done that before. I like to think of it like a kindergarten classroom day. Okay. From 8 to 8:30, Johnny has art class. And then from 8:30 to 8:45, Johnny has a potty break. And 8:45 to 9 o'clock, there's a snack time. And then 9 o'clock to 9:30 is recess. And 9:30 to 10 is math. Whatever that looks like, get into that habit of scheduling your time, because if you had a doctor's appointment, you have to leave at a certain time. It's going to take you a certain amount of minutes to get there, and then it's going to take a certain amount of time when you're there. It's going to take you a certain amount of time to drive home, and then you're going to be back to your productivity. So if you have no idea about how your time is going to be utilized, then of course you're feeling anxious at the end of the day because you feel like the day owned you and you had no idea things were going to take longer than they planned, which sometimes they will. But if you hold space for that and you can account for that, you can work around that as well. So when you know you have things coming up, like you have a conference call, or you have a meeting with your child's teacher, or if you have a dentist appointment, you put those in your calendar because they're important to you. And the same thing goes for your income producing activities for your business. If you wait until the end of the day and you wait to have time for it, what happens is you're scrolling through Instagram, you're scrolling through Facebook, you're spending time doing all these other things, and then you're not making time for the things that are important to you, but you're not telling yourself in any capacity that they're actually important to you. You're putting everything else on your schedule, but some of those other things that are important to you are falling by the wayside. So I would encourage you to try that and see how it feels, and see if you can adapt some sort of modified version of that for you, and see if that helps your productivity.
Mm-hmm. Good tips.
All right, next question, how to use the class in a box. So I love the class in the box as a tool that most of those things I'm going to use to wrap up a workshop, or to wrap up a class, or to wrap up a one-on-one with someone. So there are some really amazing resources in there. But I've found in my experience and experience of my leaders, when we give people pamphlets, catalogs, magazines, it's like squirrel, 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 and they're doing everything except listening to you, and they're doing everything except making eye contact with you when you're giving them your attention in the class, because they're flipping through. It's exciting. Oh my God, all the colors. Oh my God, what are these oils? They look amazing. There's shampoo, there's trim shake. Wow, there's serum. And you're all over the place, and they're not listening to what you're saying. So when, like we've mentioned, I think we mentioned it last podcast, giving them a blank sheet of paper is awesome. And now I do it a little differently. I give them the intake form so that they, I actually go through that exercise with them during the workshop, but also giving them a blank sheet of paper. So when you're walking through how they can use top 10, the 2 or 3 top uses for those top 10 oils, they can be writing notes, and they can be engaged, and they can be reminding themselves of all these things they want to remember. And then at the end, when you provide them an overview of the ways they can get started, giving them the Natural Solutions tear pad, or the Natural Solutions brochure to take home, the magazine to take home. It's got recipes. It's got great information on the heart of doTERRA and healing hands and sourcing and all of that. Giving them those resources is going to be huge, because that's what they're going to sit on the couch with a cup of tea and flip through and resonate with, and think back and make the connection between the things that you said and the way they felt and what they experienced during your workshop, during your one-on-one, during your class, and they can relate it back, and then they have the time and the clarity to look at it and decide which way to get started is going to resonate with them. So I like to use the wild oranges, the 5 ml wild oranges, as an incentive when people want to enroll on the spot. So most of the time, you'll get some people that are ready to go, and then you'll get some people that need to think about it or want to review things a little bit more. So I incentivize people that if they are ready to get started, after the class is over, they'll get to take home a bottle of the wild orange immediately. So, and you can use those however it resonates with you, but that works really well for me. I found that works really well, and people really like it. But I use those as tools to support me afterward, supplemental tools, not to take the place of the education that I'm providing. Laura, what about you?
100%. I think of the class in a box as perks.
Yeah.
So when I'm teaching a class, I give a blank sheet of paper, just like Hillary said, so people can take notes, and I teach because I want them to be listening, and I want it to be engaging with all of those things. And then at the end of the class, when I close a class, I will say, I word it like this. I can give you all of the education. I can teach and share all of the education about essential oils and living a healthy lifestyle. But if you're not putting that into action, it's not serving you. If you're not using these essential oils in your daily life, you can have all this information, but until you actually implement that, it's not going to help you. So I want to reward those that are ready to get started. And if you are ready to get started tonight, you're going to get an extra bottle of oil. You're going to get an extra bottle of wild orange oil. Those 5 ml wild orange oils are awesome. Honestly, Class in a Box is $25. It's worth it just to get 10 bottles of wild orange essential oil, the little 5 mLs. They're perfect incentives. They're awesome to have on hand. So that's what I do. Like if you're ready, my top strength, guys, is activator. So I'm like, you're ready. If you want to jump in on this journey with me, let's do it. And I'm going to give you an extra bottle of oil to do that. And I also pass around peppermint and wild orange. And wild orange is not one of the top 10 oils. So it's like, oh, that magical oil that we used in the class, here it is. And I'm going to give it to you for free if you're ready to get started. So that's really nice. The living magazines I give to people when they get started as a perk. It's part of their welcome pack. It's part of their bundle because that's a really nice resource. There's tons of good stuff in there. Like it's awesome. So I'm like, hey, this is going to be part of your welcome packet if you get started. Extra really fun thing that you can flip through that has recipes. It talks about all the oils, and there's a really great guide in there that goes through and tells you which oils are for sensitive skin, which oils you need to dilute, which ones can be used neat. So it's got some safety things in there, which is neat. So it's another perk. It's a tool there. And then the actual form, I will tear out the enrollment form from that. So if people are ready to get started tonight, I pass it out. I'm like, hey, I pass out the wholesale customer one. Hey, fill out everything in green here that you want, and then I'll come by and help you. Because again, it's overwhelming. If they're going to see the price point for every single oil and look at every single kit and all of this stuff, it's just too much, and a confused mind will always say no. So I keep it very simple. I actually have a print off of the Family Essentials kit, and it just says small bottle kit, and it's a picture, and it says 150, and I say this is 5 ml bottles. And then I've got the big kit, and it's Home Essentials kit, and this is 275, and it has the picture, and I said this is the big bottles, it's 15 ml bottles, so you're getting 3 times the oil with the diffuser, which is really awesome. So I pass those around. I have them like laminated or in little things, and I pass them around so they can look at what the kits look like. And I'm like, if you're ready to get started, here we go, fill out this form. And then I actually will give them, when they get started, the front part of that form as like a perk. So everything for me is a perk, because that handout is basically like all of the basics that they're going to need when they get their oils, like what oils are, why doTERRA, how to use them. So it's just a nice thing of like, hey, these are perks that you're going to take with when you get started. I used to, in the beginning, give all of that stuff to everybody, and they wouldn't get started necessarily, at a class, and then you're buying all of these Class in a Boxes. Like, I think the theme that Hillary and I are talking about is invest in those that invest in you. Walk towards those that walk towards you. Because if people really aren't ready, they may just take it to be nice and then head out the door and throw it in the trash. We don't know. So that's why I'm always like, okay, when you get started, I'm gonna do this for you. I'm gonna help you with this. And I have little welcome packets too that I take with me to the class and go through everything and be like, yeah, you're gonna get this and this and this and this. But I found it's really important. People need expiration dates. So your welcome packets and goodies, like when you get started, that's gonna be for the next 3 days. And then it goes bye-bye. Like my little special kit with the magazine, with this, with all of the things. The wild orange, that's just tonight. Just tonight. So if you want a free oil, that's just tonight. If you want extra welcome packets and goodies and all those things, that's for the next 3 days, and then it goes away. And if you want it again, you're going to have to come to my next class or my next event or something. I always put a limit on that. I think that's very important. I think it's respectful for you and your time, and respectful to the products and things too. So it's a great tool. Okay. What are we thinking, Hills? Do you want to take like a couple more?
Yeah.
Okay. Keep going. I'm glad that you guys are finding this helpful. All right. Can you pay the fee for someone to join under you? Yes, you can. Do we recommend it? No. Again, we love you. We love your caring hearts, everybody. We do. We love your caring hearts. And
we're going to heal the world. We are.
But here's the thing. people are going to value what they invested. And if you pay that fee, that $35 for somebody to get started, or you buy that starter kit for them, or whatever it is, they may not have wanted that. You may love you. I love our talk skills.
I just love it so much.
We're just getting real and raw and it's all the good stuff. They may not want that. They may think you're nuts. We will cry over oils, right? Like citrus, oh, we go crazy. We break the internet. Not everybody's going to understand that if they have not had an experience with the oils. And honestly, I think you're kind of taking that away from them. I think you're doing them a disservice because they don't really value that yet. They haven't seen it. You kind of throw them into it. I have never gifted an enrollment to somebody, a starter kit or anything like that, because I've learned from Mama Hills, and we're going to let Mama Hills talk here in just a little bit, and she will tell you her experience with that. But what I can tell you is when I have given away a health coaching session, or I've had people purchase a health coaching session for a friend or family member or whatever, those people didn't show up or they didn't follow through on their action steps. They weren't ready. And essential oils and being the CEO of your own health and wellness and going on this journey is something that you have to be ready for, to be able to step into that place. And we hold space for people. We'll do education. We can, with your friends, put oils on them. But when they're not ready, they're not ready. And it's not my job to force or convince anyone to do anything that they're not open to doing. I'm an essential oil educator. I'm here to support people. I will hold space for you. But no, as Hillary said before, right? So great. We don't buy people's groceries. We don't buy people's starter kits. We don't buy people's, fee with that. Maybe I have heard a 1 in a million thing where somebody just honestly couldn't afford it, but really loved it and wanted to get started, and their upline got them something and they did it, and now they're like a diamond, and they were having huge financial issues and got out of that. But guys, those are really rare situations. So again, trust your intuition. It will never lead you astray. Trust your gut instinct with this. Can you do it? Yeah. Are there some people that they have done it and it's turned out really good and really helped somebody in need? Yeah. But again, I feel like it devalues the product and what you're doing, and you're taking that choice away from somebody. And oils and living this health and wellness lifestyle is something that people have to be ready for. So lay it on us, Mama Hills.
No, I'm just going to amen to all of it, all the above. Yes, yes, yes. It's just, it's more personal development that is needed. If you find yourself feeling so compelled, but they just need oils, they're really hurting and they're really sad, but they're in a bad financial place. You know what? This is not up to you to do that. And it doesn't mean that you're not a nice person. It doesn't mean that our souls are icicles. It doesn't. It's the opposite. We love people so much that we want them to find this when they're ready. Because if it's just about us, we're projecting our desires and wants on them. And how fair is that? That's not fair at all. If they truly wanted oils, they would hold space for that. They would make that work. Every one of us on this call has a smartphone. Chances are you're either watching us from your smartphone or you're watching on your computer. And either way, you are prioritizing having the financial ability to afford that every month. That is a choice that you are making, but that is a trade-off that you're spending that money on having internet access, having a smartphone, having that with you, having that tool with you to support your daily life. That means that you value that. And so if you value your health and wellness, then there are other things that you can allocate to your money with to do so. So that is a choice that you make. And like Laura said, it's not about us making that choice for them. It's not about us saying, well, we want you to have it and we think you need it and we think it's going to help you and we know it's going to help you. So we're going to do this for you, because it's not their choice. It's not their time and they're not ready. And when you do that, you're basically telling them that what you want matters more than what they want. And that's just not appropriate. It's just not appropriate. So can you do it? You sure can. And when you do it, I'd love to hear from you 6 months from then, and 9 months from then, and a year from then, and 2 years from then, how that is working out for you. Because when you do that, you are also saying, you're assuming, you're making the assumption that they value oils the way that you do. They don't know about oils the way they do that you do. So are you in their home? Are you putting the oils down their throat? Are you putting the oils in their diffuser? Are you taking the vitamins for them? You're not. And so when it's not their idea, it's not going to be a priority. So obviously, we're not here to scold you. We're not here to tell you what to do or what not to do. We're just recommending that we did not reach platinum accidentally. We reached platinum intentionally from making a lot of mistakes. We've made all the mistakes. And we don't want you to have to make the ones that we've made. So we are here to just help guide you that some of the things that we did not work, and giving out samples to everybody and giving memberships away to people didn't work. And that's okay, because that's the only way to find out, is either learn through someone else's mistakes or make your own. And so we don't want you to make those. We want you to invest in the people that invest in you. And that $35, you can allocate that to someone's fractionated coconut oil and roller bottles when they get started, because they're saying, I'm ready now. And they're willing to not only prioritize the financial outlay, but they're willing to spend the time with you to jump on a 30-minute call, because you are showing them the value. And when they're ready, they are going to prioritize making the time to see the value of the tools that they invested in. So if they didn't have to buy anything, and if they got this given to them, why would they prioritize a phone call with you? Because they're like, oh, well, these were free, so I don't know, it doesn't matter, it's cool. She gave it to me as a gift, I'll use them when I'm ready. Versus when you are really able to say, okay, I spent this money, I owe it to myself to give my time so I can learn how to use the oils that I bought.
So good. So good. And so
yeah, it's hard, because again, doTERRA attracts the people that we want to help. We want to change the world, and we're doing that. But we have to do that and trust the universe's timeline for us, and not project our own wants and desires on everything and think that we know what's best. So, we listen to our intuition, but we also have to take a rational approach as well. And so then that leads us to our next question, and maybe the last one probably for tonight. Do you have to sell a certain amount of oils per month when you get started with doTERRA? So the answer is no. The answer is all you have to do in order to earn income in doTERRA is spend 100 PV on your own personal products in your own personal loyalty rewards template. So you can do that however many ways you want to. You can do it with one order of 100 PV. You can do it in 2 orders of 50 PV if you're on a tighter budget and you want to spend 50 the first paycheck of the month and then wrap it up with another 50 in the second half of the month. However that looks, as long as you have personally invested 100 PV into your own health and wellness bank account, so to speak, doTERRA rewards you and says, we will pay you also for all the other people that you are helping in this lifestyle. So there's no amount of oils you need to sell other than your own personal products that you're purchasing to use for personal consumption only.
Yes. So good. Okay, I feel like we're going to get on a soapbox here for just a little bit.
Yes.
And if we didn't get to your question, they're going to be top on the next queue for next month. So don't worry, we'll get to those and we will answer those. But I had a situation on Instagram today, Hillary, and I feel like I need to talk about it.
Please do, because it is so crucial to all the work that we're trying to do. Yes.
So somebody literally took my pictures and all of the details, everything that I had written in those posts, and literally copied and pasted. And we found out about it because in one of them, I gave Hillary a shout out and she just copied and pasted the whole thing and tagged Hillary, and Hillary found this person. Please, guys, for the love of all that is good and holy in the land, do not do this. This is plagiarism. Please, if you're going to share somebody's post, and please, we love when you share our posts. Share, give credit where credit is due, tag people, but please do not take somebody's picture, and I even had my name in them, my little mark at Dr. Laura, and literally copy and paste every single word into a post. Don't do that. It's creepy. It was icky, really icky feeling to me. It's not the doTERRA culture. It's not how we do things. It's totally plagiarism, and it just feels yucky. And honestly, when you're doing this as a business, if you're sharing, you need to show up in your authentic voice. People can tell when you are faking and those are not your words or what's going on a mile away. And Hillary and I spend so much time creating good content for you guys. What that person doesn't know is that Breathe touch roller that I took a picture of, I waited till the sun went down so the lighting was good. I put it on portrait mode. I took like 10 pictures in different angles to find the one that I thought would look good. I did some research. I pulled in stuff with what I wanted to create in that post. The other ones that I created, I found the image, like put in word swag, like all of these things. We put a lot of time and energy and heart into our posts. So one, if you're following somebody and you like their content, please tell them, please like that post or heart that post or comment and say, wow, this was really good information, or share it. And if you want to share it, share directly from the page, or please give credit where credit is due, because it does not feel good.
Well, and how, and so I commented and I said, thanks so much, but this is actually Dr. Laura Ricci's post. You need to make sure that you provide credit to her. And she did not respond. And then I noticed that it was on 2 other pictures that were posted like 15 minutes apart. And I commented back and said, this is not your photo. This is Dr. Laura Ricci's photo. She did not comment. And I commented on the 3rd photo and said, this is not your photo either. Please give credit where credit is due. You can download for free an app called Repost in the App Store, where it allows you to repost someone else's post and it gives them credit for it, and it allows you to do that with ease and grace. Or if you want to share an Instagram post from Instagram into your Instagram stories, you can tap the little airplane icon at the bottom of the post, so it'll have like a heart or a little airplane, and you can tap the airplane and then it'll put it right into your Instagram stories with a tag along with it, so someone can tap it and go directly to the originator's post. So it is really important. We love sharing, we love reposting things, we love giving credit where credit is due, but it is hours and hours and hours of time and energy and effort that goes into creating things and being really being an intentional, deliberate creator, which is what we are doing with our own authentic voices. And though we can totally resonate with something, a quote or a post or a story, that is not ours. So we want to make sure that people know exactly where the source of that came from. And when someone calls you out on it, don't delete the post and post it again. You need to acknowledge it and be an adult and communicate effectively. And so, yeah, there you go. Not cool.
One more you need. Don't do it.
Don't do that. Don't do that, please. Be you, because the world just wants you to be you. Yeah.
Amen. Okay. On a happier note, we have a giveaway.
We do, because sharing is caring, but smart sharing, okay? Smart sharing is caring. So we have a virtual e-copy of the Emotions and Essential Oils book, which is amazing for you to have. And how do you get this?
And you're going to love it, because I love the hardback, but we're going to give you the virtual. So it's on your phone so that you have it at all times to look up whenever you need it. And all you need to do to enter is post a learning comment below. And a winner will be selected 15 minutes after this live podcast ends with a randomizer app. So something that you learned, something that you enjoyed, you found informative, anything that you want to share about something that related to what we mentioned in tonight's podcast. And this will be open to one lucky US viewer. We hope it's you.
Yay. And we don't want you to be shy. So you don't have to wait until we are announcing our podcast for May. If you have questions that came up from things we talked about tonight, or tomorrow morning when you're in the shower and you think of something, when you get out of the shower, then grab your phone and let us know. But you can always ask us a question, and then we'll pop it in the queue for next month so that it's safe and sound and your question is captured. So this is an interactive community. We want you to share with us what areas of your business you're struggling on. We want to know and help you work through it. So if you're watching the replay and you have questions, let us know. We have a couple little announcements, and then we'll let you get back to your night. I've got my next Road Out Thursday Periscope broadcast coming up next Thursday, so stay tuned for that. I had so much fun at the wellness workshop that I did for my dentist and her staff last week. We are working together to collaborate more for future events in our community. So if you are in my local area, reach out and connect. I would love to plug you into some of those things that we are going to be doing. I'm going to be doing a couple spring pop-up events specifically for a local garden club, and then I'll be collaborating with my esthetician, Erica Tutoni, and I'm going to be setting up a table at her studio next month in about 2 weeks. And she's going to have an open house day where people can learn about oils for skincare and wellness and just overall. So that's going to be really fun. I'm loving branching out and bringing doTERRA into my local community. It is something that it has just become really fun for me to do, and I am trying to support other areas that are medical modalities that really want to dig into this integrative approach. So it's been really fun, and we're going to just continue digging into our community and finding areas that we can support people in the ways that they are searching for. So Laura, what about you? What do you have going on?
That is so exciting, Hillary. I love it. All of the things, right? I want to remind everybody, stay tuned for more health and self-care tips on my Facebook page, facebook.com/Dr. Laura Ricci. I'm on Instagram at Dr. Laura Ricci. Just share, don't plagiarize over there. And all of the things. And if anyone is really wanting more one-on-one support on their health and wellness journey, I do offer virtual health coaching services. Website is lauraricci.vpweb.com. We'll post all of that above in the comments when this is over, and Hillary's website as well. And I taught a virtual class on the topical use of essential oils, and the replay's up in my private Facebook education group. So you can search Learning with Dr. Laura and request to join. We'll add you right in. It'll be up through the end of this month, just through April. So if you want to check it out, make sure that you join the group and you won't miss out on the replay. I teach a class in there once every month. We did internal use last month. This month was topical. Next month, we're going to do aromatic. We got to finish it up, right? All of the things. And I also have several classes coming up, in-person classes in the West Texas area. So if you're in the Amarillo or Canyon, Texas area, make sure that you're following the events tab over on my Facebook page so that you're not going to miss anything and that you can join us live. The next one is eliminating toxins from your home, and it's going to be April 25th at 7 p.m. It's going to be at Keller Williams Realty on Sonsi, so you'll want to check it out. And then I am doing a make and take class. I'm so excited about this in May with Dr. Casey Roach at her chiropractic office, all on women's health. We're going to be making some really cool rollers and sprays and things to support your health and wellness. So stay tuned for that. So excited to share.
So many exciting things, and just think outside the box, think outside the class in the box, but think about those things and how you can support your community and how you can switch it up a little bit. If you're doing the things and they're not successful for you, try some of these new habits and new ways to think about your business, and we can't wait. And if you have success stories, we would love to hear that too, not just things that might not be going well, but if what is working really well for you. Let's talk about that. We want to be cheering you on. So tag Laura and I if you are excited about an event that you did and it had a really great turnout and you had really great energy and it was super fun for you. We want to hear that. We want to cheer you on along the way too. So definitely don't forget to tag us on social media when you feel led to do that. And that is a wrap on another podcast. We will see you in May. If you are interested in perusing and exploring any one-on-one business coaching with Dr. Laura or I, you can reach out to us directly with a private message. You can head to our Facebook, our Instagram, our websites. We look forward to supporting you. So if that's something that you want, we can really dig into some goal setting for you and get super specific based on what your goals are. So we cannot wait to continue supporting you. And I would love to see all these great success stories coming through. So keep us posted, and we will see you next month. Bye, everyone.
Bye.